fired up to open the show with Clayton Kershaw. Clayton,
It's okay.
my goodness, good to see you, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
You walked up. I would shake your hand, but we're all wired into this place, so
That's right.
we'll do it a little later on. First off, be an analyst for us a little bit.
Okay.
Your biggest takeaway from Game 1 of this Fall Classic?
Yeah, they did a great job offensively. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. We knew coming into it that not a team that strikes out a lot. They do a lot. They try to create havoc with their at bats. I think some of the biggest at bats was Kirk last night, fouling pitches off, getting the inning started. And then once you get bases loaded, nobody out. That's a tough situation for anybody. So you got to give him a lot of credit, Kirk a lot of credit. And then overall, I think we just got to make pitches when we need to. I mean, it's
the open. We pick a homer hunch every year. Every night, who's going to hit a home run in the game? Dan picked a guy who wasn't starting and made a big deal out of it. And Barger, he picked it right and nailed it.
I can't say I'm happy for you, but yeah, way to go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But I did say this, though. We were talking about what's going to happen in the ending, and we said that Clayton Kershaw will get the final out of this World Series.
Yeah,
Both of these
that
guys.
was our prediction.
I'll take that. As long as it's a win, I'll take
That's
that.
our
Sure,
prediction.
yeah.
So, have you been told what your role is? I got to be honest with you. I was surprised that you didn't pitch in the game yesterday. Did you expect to pitch in that game? What you saw the way it was playing out?
Yeah, obviously we got a lot of guys throwing the ball well, so I'm just trying to be ready for whatever. Obviously I think if a starter goes short, I might get in there. Situations like last night potentially too. But at the end of the day, just kind of got to be ready. At Game 1, we have a lot of guys that are fresh, ready to go. So you really could just take your pick down there when it's that type of lead, obviously. So I don't know, just trying to stay ready, stay loose. It's not easy down there, trying to stay loose the whole time. Yeah.
I made my living sitting out there.
Yeah.
It's different than sitting in a dugout.
It's not. Yeah, I have a new respect. It's not easy just to hear that phone get up and chuck some baseballs and get ready to go in there. So it's not an easy job by any means. And yeah, for me, just trying to stay loose. 11 o'clock, I'm ready to go to bed, and potentially trying to get in the game. So it's a different animal for me.
How different or how difficult is it? Maybe both of having to maybe have a role in the bullpen, and yet still you might be starting as well. How do you prepare for those two?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm definitely in the bullpen for this postseason, and I knew that going in. We got 4 guys starting that are, potentially best postseason rotation ever, so I knew that was going to be my role coming into it. So I was prepared for it, trying to prepare as best you can, talk to these guys a little bit about what to do.
Is there a routine difference of getting ready to get in?
I mean, I'm talking to you guys right now. Usually I'm, locked in, so it's kind of just that adrenaline spike for 10, 15 minutes and then cool down as opposed to kind of like the 3-4 hours of focus of a starter.
It's interesting. You faced the Blue Jays, right, this year, and you pitched really well.
Battle of the old guys, me versus Schurz. Yeah.
Exactly. I think you punched out Vladdy twice in that game.
Okay.
So in a big moment, Vladdy's coming up. Can we expect that's the matchup?
We have a lot of red-greens over there, who the red-green matchups. I'm not sure if me versus Vladdy is the highest red-green matchup we have, but I'll be ready to go if that's what it takes.
Hey, have you been able to do a crash course in how to get ready quickly out of the bullpen?
No, I'm working on it. I think for me, my arm is fine. It's the rest of me to try and stay loose. So, from the 3rd inning on, just try to move around and not just sit there for 20 minutes at a time. And I feel okay. The few times that I've thrown and gotten up, it feels okay. So,
well, Dan, give him some advice. What did you do? 18 years in the bullpen.
I just tried to stretch and get ready and expect at any time your name's going to be called because you don't want to be called there mentally shut down and physically to say, hey, Clayton, get up. And you've got to waste precious time stretching to get
what's
loose.
the thing with your bubble gum and your hat?
Oh, I was a creature of habit. I rolled 3 balls of bubble gum up and put a ball that I was going to use. Don't touch the bubble gum and don't touch the ball I'm going to warm up with.
All right, I'm going to do that tonight.
All right, there you go. Yeah. I tell you what, Clayton, you've been in a lot of big games and a lot of big venues. What about how loud it was here last night? Where does that register?
Yeah, I mean, when you hit that grand slam, it got pretty loud. I'm not going to lie to you. It got pretty loud in here. Great crowd, though. They're into it, standing up the whole time. We played in some good ballparks this year in the postseason. Obviously, Philly's a ton of fun. The fans are awesome there. Milwaukee actually gets really loud, too. So, we're no stranger to playing on the road, winning big games on the road. But, yeah, this place got loud for sure.
I feel like we're seeing headed to a peak or maybe even at the peak of the Dodger organization. You've been in this place a long time. But, man, bringing the players in, keeping the continuity. Has it been any better since you've been here?
Yeah, I don't know if we've reached the peak, but it's been pretty good. I think...
we haven't reached the peak yet.
I don't know. Every year, Andrew goes out and does something, and, we got a lot of guys. Like you said, consistency and continuity starts at the top. Those 3 or 4 guys at the top of our lineup, they're superstar players, but they're winning players. They want to do what it takes to win a game. Mookie going to short, Freddie playing through everything, Shohei doing everything. It's just like it starts with your superstar guys and trickles all the way down, and that's what we have. It's pretty special.
Now that you're in the pen, what's your son going to do? What's his routine?
Yeah, well... The oldest, Charlie, I think he might be a pitcher. We'll see. He's just starting to get into it. He's 8 right now. I tell him to watch Yama throw, so he's going to be watching tonight. And, Yama's throw is perfect. It's just so pretty the way he throws a baseball. And if he was lefty, I'd probably tell him to watch Blake Snell. Like, those two are just like, that's a perfect throw, both of those guys.
You made the announcement that this is it for you. Do you take a special time now to take this in more than you did, say, 10 or 15 years ago when you don't see the end is near?
100%. I try not to be too reflective, obviously, because we're in the middle of something, trying to do something special here this year, but it's hard not to for me. The intros last night, looking around, seeing all that, having family in the stands, knowing this is our last one. I mean, it's just a lot of gratitude for me. Just a lot of gratitude that I get to be a part of this in whatever role it is. And I'm at peace with the decision, but it doesn't make it any less emotional. You know, it's hard to say that you're not going to throw a baseball anymore, and I'm just excited for the next week to get to do it and be a part of it.
You're not just the pitcher, you're the player of this generation in the MLB Network era. We launched in 09. No one has dominated the sport like you, and it has been so fun to really capture your entire career on this network. So
thank you.
From all of us, we really do thank you for
I
what you've
appreciate
done.
that. Thank
You've
you,
helped the
guys.
game in such a great way, and
Thank you.
we appreciate you stepping up. And
From Larry Boa, tell us about this young kid.
Larry Boa, day one, said there's a future Hall of Famer.
We got time for a quick Larry Boa story?
Please.
All right, so Larry Boa, you know, he's coaching with Joe and the, you know, guys. It's kind of an older group of coaches, right? And so me and Chad Billingsley, some of the younger guys, it's pretty quiet at Dodger Stadium at times, but it's not going good. I'm walking a lot of guys. I get 2-0 on a batter, and I hear from the dugout, psh, psh, come on, psh. It's Bo sitting over there like, God, this guy can't get ahead of a batter over and over again. Oh, but Bo's great, man. Bo, I love you. You're awesome to me. But
You know what they're doing about that.
I played for him 2 years in Philadelphia.
He's heard
He's
the
bad for a young pitcher who's got rabbit ears.
It's
Clayton.
All right, thank you guys.
So much fun. Thank you so much. The great Clayton Kershaw.
Series. What does the Dodgers need to do in specific, sir, to avoid having the series to go back to Canada to finish it up right here? Obviously, winning.
Yeah, outside of winning 3 games, I think, you know, first off, we're trying to win tomorrow. That's the first thing. We have to have Tyler come out and pitch well. We have to, you know, we know Scherzer from years past, and we have to know that he's going to come in and compete and make pitches, and we got to have a good game plan and execute and play sound baseball. And, you know, then everything will take care of itself.
6 rows back in the middle, Fabian.
Yeah, Dave, we've asked a lot about the offense the last couple games. Are you surprised there hasn't been more slug in general? Or is that one of those things where the at-bats are going to lead to more slug down the line?
You know, I'm not, you know, we had 2 homers yesterday, but I think in general, the 2 guys, the 2 starters in particular that we faced have made really good pitches. I think they've had really good command. But yeah, we've missed some pitches as well. But yeah, I guess, you know, they've made good pitches, but we've missed pitches as well. So I do think that coming home, I feel that, you know, we're back into a little bit of a rhythm offensively that it should show itself here these next 3 games.
We'll stay in the same row with Sonia.
Dave, you talked yesterday about kind of considering making a change with Andy in center field and picked up a hit yesterday. But, you know, is that something you think he can build on, or is it still on the table, you shaking things up with him?
Still on the table. It's front of mind, just trying to figure out, you know, where he's at mentally, physically. Certainly the performance hasn't been there. Thinking of other options. So, yeah, it's certainly on the table.
And these will be Clayton's final home games. You've talked about, you know, you're first and foremost trying to win these games here, but would you like to get him into one of these games if the situation is right?
I would love to get him into one of these games if the situation is right. But first and foremost, I'm going to make decisions that I feel are best for helping the team win that particular game. And if he's a part of it, fantastic.
4th row on your right, Bill.
Yeah, Dave. My connecting flight was delayed. Do you have a travel story for us as well?
You know, I don't want to get too far into it. I just arrived about 30 minutes ago. So there were some delays. I don't know if there was intent or not, but it just, man, the international stuff was a bear. But we made it. We made it.
And with Scherzer, you've faced him over the years. I'm thinking in terms of, in particular, the 2019 playoffs. How different is he as a pitcher now?
Yeah, you know, the stuff was down, but that last outing in Seattle, it was back up. But obviously, you know, with age, you don't have the same stuff. I know they don't have the same leash that on him as he used to have. But, man, he's still a great competitor. He still studies hitters, makes pitches, and yeah, he's not going to give in. It's still going to be a tough test for us regardless because, you know, he wants to beat us really bad, I'm sure.
2nd row on your left, Dave.
Dave, I know you said that you were just playing the card you were dealt, having these starters go long into these games, but is there some part of you that loves seeing the old school baseball that you grew up with, guys going 8, 9 innings, complete games?
Absolutely. I love it. I think that's the game that I grew up on. I think that's the game that, you know, fans love. But I do think that there's a point, you know, in the last, you know, call it 15 years that starters just aren't conditioned to go deeper. And so right or wrong, that's what I came into. And so then you look at the roster and what best way to win one particular game, and then a manager, myself, has to make decisions. But, yeah, in a vacuum, I love it this way, yeah.
Go to Beth right here.
Yeah, Dave, with 3 games in 3 days, how critical is it for the starters to go deep and not tax the bullpen, knowing that you're just going to have to keep coming back night after night here?
It's critical. I think that, you know, unfortunately we are comprised of a rotation that can, log innings. So, the 3 in a row is very important to not to vary reliever looks and to kind of get the optimum matchups that you can. But, it starts with the starters going deeper. Absolutely.
Right here with Ron.
One more on the bullpen. Do you go into 3 days in a row knowing who's capable of bouncing back the pitch every day and who's not? Or is it next morning more seeing how they feel? And also, since they're all going to say they're available, how do you make the determination whether they're really capable?
Yeah, you don't always trust the player, but in this particular situation, I think I got a good feel for our guys. You do go into a 3-game series of knowing what their potential limitations are. Availability, efficacy, is important, obviously. Just conversations. But in total, whatever it takes to win that game, and you pick up the pieces after.
In evaluating it, is there a metric, or is it more look in their eye and trying to evaluate if they're...
It's their catch play. It's me talking to the coaches, most important. And at the end of the day, I've got to make a bet on if the player, the coach, everything, the information, if it makes sense to run them out there.
About 7 rows back on your far right, Alden.
Hey, Dave, with Clayton specifically, how have you seen him sort of navigate this last month, obviously in a role that he's not accustomed to at all? And is there any way in which you felt like his presence has had an impact on any individual guys and helped in these playoffs?
He's handled this last month with class, professionalism. All the while, he's always said that he wants to do anything he can to help the team, and he's followed through on that. All the stuff finishing out the season and how everything kind of played out was a lot on his plate, handle it with grace. And then the kind of uncertainty of role going to the pen, he's just fallen in line. And so he's adjusted his kind of workout regimen, throwing program to be ready when called upon, like everyone else is. And I think he's been a big asset for the guys in the pen. Talking to Josh Bard about Clayton, the interactions, the conversations, he's been very additive. And so, to the earlier question, I'd love to get him in there if it makes sense.
A couple rows behind the camera, Nobu.
I skip back to the game two. We saw the Rocky was warming up in the ninth inning, and then Yoshinobu's pitch count already, over 100 pitches. So, in what situation were you planning to use Rocky?
I think for me, I was watching the throws, making sure that Yoshi's delivery was still sound and consistent, which it was. So that's one part of it. And the quality of pitches, and then seeing how the inning developed. So it was sort of a hitter-by-hitter situation, but I wanted him to finish that game.
Second row, you're right, Jack.
With Roki, you've mostly used him at the end of games. Just given where the rest of the pen is at right now, could you see maybe being a little more aggressive, using him earlier if there's a situation that arises, or do you want to try to keep him preferably in a ninth inning role?
I would say probably, using him more towards the back. I'm not going to say I'm going to be beholden to that throughout the through the whole series, but I think kind of the way I look at it now, more towards the back end.
And then with the lineup, when you talk about missing pitches that you guys could do damage on, is that partially part of the byproduct of not having face lag pitching for a week and just taking a couple games for guys to kind of get back in their swings a little bit, or is more of that just not executing and with some of the stuff they were throwing at you?
I think it was more. Honestly, I think it was a little bit weird, a little bit in between. We faced two guys with plus secondary pitches and splits, and I think that having that kind of in the back of your mind gets you off the fastball just a little bit. So I think that's kind of what it was the reason behind it.
A couple others for Doc. Anything else? We'll finish with Clayton.
Just on a more fun note, there's a guy on this team who reminds a lot of people of yourself and Justin Dean in terms of when he, what he does and his defensive skills. He put him in twice. He's made a great catch and he stole a load of base. Just tell me something about him and what it's like to look at a guy who, frankly, reminds you of the game that a lot of people know you had.
Great teammate, really good self-evaluator. Obviously wants to be a guy, wants to be in there, but you understand your role on the team and you try to make the most of it when your number's called. And so, he's a plus defender out in center field. He can steal a base, and he's good on the team. And so those guys in the postseason, you need kind of have your horses, but you also have to have the guys on the periphery that are good teammates and kind of keep that, mojo going. And Justin does just that.
We'll finish up with Francisco up front.
Just one situation I was curious. If you ever had or Shohei or Yamamoto or Snell, you're coming out and you feel that it's done, it's over for them, but they tell you, hell no, I'm going to stay here, I want to finish the game. Is there a situation that you will listen to your pitcher or you tell him, sorry, buddy, I'm the manager, you're out?
It's kind of case by case. there's certain times where pitchers want to stay in there, and I trust them, and I believe them, and I think I'll go with it. And other times, I know what I know, and it doesn't matter what they tell me. So, for the most part, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I've already made my decision. 99% of the time. But sometimes I'll relent. Yeah.
All right, Doc. Thanks so much.
スプリットの話出たんですけども、ポストシーズン入ってから空振り率が 90%、もちろんサンプル少ないんでね、あれですけど、明らかに向こうが振る確率が増えてて、レギュラーシーズン大体25、6、ポストシーズン入って57、8%。今、相手が振りたくなるようなところに投げられるコマンドのところまで質が上がったのかなと思うんですけど、最後のこの仕上げのところで一番意識したプロセスっていうのは何だったんですか？
単純にそのリハビリのプロセスの中で優先順位が一番、遅いというか、なんていうんですかね、ピッチングの中では大事な球種ではありますけど、そのリハビリの中ではやっぱ最後の最後に、調整する球ではあるので、間に合って調整できたのは良かったですし、そういう意味では最初の方に投げてるスプリットっていうのはまだ挑戦段階のあまり精度の高くないものではあったのかなとは思ってます。
Go to the fourth row on your right, guys.
お疲れ様です。ピッチャーに関してなんですけども、投げ方も全然、2年前から全然変わりまして、その球速帯もかなり上がって、その球種も配分もかなり変わって、傍から見てるとかなり別のピッチャー見て投げてるように見えるんですけど、ご自身としてはやっぱ全然違う感覚というか、そういうの生まれてる感じがありますか？その術前に比べてピッチングに関して。
ワインドアップも含めて変えてる点ではありますけど、一番は不安なくしっかり投げれているなというのが、一番の違いかなと思うので、2020年、2023年も投げましたけど、やっぱりどこか思い通りにいかないなという違和感がありながら投げてたりしてる時期もあったので、今は今のところそういうことはなく、本当になんですかね、自分のやりたいように、体がついてきてはいるなとは思ってます。
Stay in the same spot.
お疲れ様です。先ほどフリーバッティングの話で、打球の質感だったりは外でしか確認できないというお話もあって、で先日レギュラーシーズン中はそんなに必要なかったということをおっしゃってたんですけど、短期決戦に入ってそういう作業が必要になった理由みたいなところってどんなところなんでしょう
か？休みが多かったっていうのもそうですし、シーズン中はその全体のボリュームをやっぱり考えないといけないので、ゲーム中のスイング量もそうですし、1日のスイング量自体も管理はしないといけないので、やっぱり外でですね、もう自分が思っているよりも負荷が高くなってしまいがちなので、そういうところはレギュラーシーズンとは違うかなと思います。
One row behind, Nobu.
お疲れ様です。ブルージェイズ打線1戦2戦見て、自分でベンチから見て自分で感じたこのピッチングに活かせることとか、何か思ったこととかあれば教えてください。
さっき言いましたが、まず大前提として自分がしっかりとしたパフォーマンスというか、自分の持っているものの中で高いパフォーマンスをまず出せるという状況を作るのが最優先かなとは思いますし、その中で相手を分析したものをもとに対策していければいいのかなと思ってます。
Go to the fourth row on your left, guys.
よろしくお願いします。1勝1敗で、初戦厳しい戦いになりましたけど、1勝1敗でこの本拠地に LA に帰ってこられたことをまずどのように思ってらっしゃいますか？
そうですね、もう終わったことは切り替えてというか、もう参戦選手のホーム開幕だと思って、臨めばいいんじゃないかなと思ってます。
あと改めまして、いよいよワールドシリーズで初めて二刀流でご自身がプレーできるその期待感とか何かワクワク感があれば教えてください。
シリーズの前も言った通り、去年はね、肩の怪我もあって、なんですかね、なかなかシリーズ自体になんていうんですかね、全力で集中できる状況ではなかったので、そういう意味では大きく違うと思いますし、その肘の状況も含めて健康体でまずプレーできるということに日々感謝したいですし、ここまで最後まで残って、ワールドシリーズを戦えているということにまず感謝したいなと思っています。
Two last ones in Japanese. Second row to your right.
シーズン終盤になってストレスがかかったり、重圧がかかるような試合がある中で家族も増えて自宅帰った時の楽しみであったり、愛犬とかの楽しみ、どういうことでリラックスされてますか、今年は？
全体的にさっき言った通りリラックスして家に帰ったらリラックスしてますし、はい、家庭内ではね、トロントで言われたようなちゃんとは言われないように努めたいなと思ってます。
And we'll finish up in the same row.
すみません、お願いします。母じゃない、すみません。僕の妻が大好きなちゃんとって先ほど言われた話なんです。具体的に打席の中で聞こえていたのかとか、後から教えてもらって分かったことなのかとか、その辺のちょっと詳しい状況っていうのを。
聞こえてはもちろん、はい。MVP の時もそうですし、はい。基本的には聞こえてはいますけど、集中はしてるので、特にそれが 気になるなとかはないですし、はい。
あと最後に吉信投手完投勝利2試合連続して、大谷選手のその完投勝利っていうのは今こう現実として見れるものなのかとか、その完投勝利この今の野球界メジャーの野球においてすごいどれだけ難しいことなのかっていうのをちょっとお聞きしたいんですけど。
いや、レギュラーシーズンの中でも1試合完投するのも難しいですし、それをポストシーズンのね、こう相手のレベルも高くなるプレッシャーもかかる中で2試合連続でこうやってくれるっていうのはなかなか、ね、もちろんできることではないので、本当に頼もしいというか、僕はオフェンスその時やってたので、オフェンス陣からしたら本当に頼もしくこう早くこう援護してあげたいなっていう気持ちにもなりますし、本当に素晴らしいピッチングだったなと見てて思ってました。
All right, Shohei, Will, thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow.